the ACC on ESPN. And we welcome you inside Hens Field in Pittsburgh for the season opener for both these teams, the Delaware Blue Hens and the University of Pittsburgh Panthers. Very pleasant good afternoon, everybody. I'm Dave Weekley. Happy to be alongside former James Madison coach Mickey Matthews, who moves from the sidelines up to the broadcast booth this afternoon. Mickey, welcome to the dark side.
Well, it's good to be up here. I tell you what, this is going to be a good football game. Two young teams, but have proud traditions, well coached. Should be a lot of fun.
All right, as far as Delaware is concerned, they want to build on the momentum they had last year. They nearly made the FCS playoffs, but it was a back-to-back season-ending one-point losses that kept them on the sidelines in the postseason. Meanwhile, for the University of Pittsburgh, their second year in the ACC, Paul Chryst has an experienced yet young football team. And, Mickey, they've got one of the best game breakers in all of college football in Tyler Boyd.
But Tyler Boyd's a heck of a player. When you start talking about a guy who's breaking Sammy Watkins and Larry Fitzgerald freshman receiving records, I don't know what class he's in, but it doesn't take long to check roll.
And as far as Delaware is concerned, they've got a game breaker as well. Michael Johnson, a great wide receiver. He's a legitimate Walter Payton Award candidate.
Michael Johnson can do a lot of things with the ball under his arm. He can make you miss in the open field. He can make the tough catch. He's a competitor. Michael's a heck of a player.
This Delaware Blue Hen roster has a load of Pennsylvania natives on it. Most are from the Philadelphia area, but Trent Hurley, the quarterback, is from Connellsville, and he'd love to show the hometown fans something this afternoon. Delaware and Pitt, our kickoff is coming next on ESPN 3. All right, we are ready for football here in Hens Field. It's going to be an afternoon of temperatures in the high 80s. Mickey, it's a humid afternoon. Delaware has won the toss. They're in the white uniforms. They will receive Dave Brock in his second season as Delaware's head coach. Last year, oh so close to the FCS playoffs with a record of 7-5.
Yeah, I like Dave. I coached against Dave for many years. He's solid. I've watched him practice this fall. Dave's a good football coach.
And Paul Chryst, it's his third season at the University of Pittsburgh after being a very impressive offensive coordinator at a host of locations, most recently Wisconsin before matriculating to the Panthers. Third season for Chryst, second season for Pitt in the ACC. And the schedule really sets up for the Panthers to get off to a very quick start this season, but it all begins today against Delaware. Mickey, before we get started, you know, as a former head coach, what kind of butterflies are going through a head coach's stomach right now?
Well, you know, if you're Delaware, you want to get off to a good start. If you're on the Pittsburgh sideline, you want to just get all over them early and discourage the Delaware kids so they can't play on this level. So it depends who gets off to a fast start and who doesn't.
All right, Chris Blewett will kick things off for the Panthers. The Panthers are in their road blue uniforms in the gold pants. And you want to watch out for number 17, Michael Johnson. Last year he was 7th in the Colonial, averaging nearly 21 yards a return.
Yeah, he can take it to the house. No question, he can take it to the house. And they're very good special teams, Delaware is. They do a nice job.
Delaware, their uniforms look so much like Michigan. Johnson 2 yards deep in the end zone across the 10. And he's hit by a stone wall as he reaches the 16-yard line. And that is where the Blue Hens will start 1st and 10 with their first offensive series of the season.
Yeah, great coverage by Pitt. That's a way to start a game there. They really did a nice job. You always want to tackle the return guy inside the 20, and they tackled him on the 16.
Trent Hurley is the starting quarterback for the Blue Hens of Delaware. He raised a few eyebrows this week with some quotes in the local papers about he felt like Pitt really didn't give him as much of a look as he deserved. Well, he gets his chance this afternoon. And they will go with an empty set and 5 wide. Trips to the bottom on first down.
Yeah, empty formation. There's no running backs in the backfield.
Randolph is in motion. They look to the short side. It's a wide receiver screen for Johnson. He's got nowhere to go. He's stacked up for a loss.
Yeah, it was what we call a jailbreak screen, and the timing wasn't very good. The lineman never got out from the receiver.
Offensive lineup, Jalen Randolph is the leading running back. Cobb, Harrison, Michael Johnson, 17, and Stephen Clark. This is a good offensive line, but it's not deep. Curtis and Lewis on the left side. Kern at center. Zerko and Bozic on the right side.
Sprint out.
Pass caught to the 21-yard line.
Yeah, good safe pass. Good safe pass. Puts him in a manageable third down situation, 3rd and 5.
Jarrell Harrison makes the reception. How do you replace Aaron Donald? Well, the answer is you don't, but these are the guys up front. Soto, Render, do you see those guys? Gonzalez, Galambos, and Thomas. And this is a young secondary. Lafayette Pitts, the junior from Duquesne, is the leader of that group.
Pitt showing man-to-man coverage in the defensive backfield. Johnson and good.
Pass is caught by Johnson. He's very close to the sticks, but it looks like he's going to come up less than a yard short.
Yeah, good decision by Dave. Punt the ball early here, Dave. It's way too early in the game to take a chance.
Well, instead of going for it on 4th and less than a yard, Delaware sends out what they expect to be one of their real weapons this year. Their punter, Eric Anderson, a sophomore from Hampton, Virginia, preseason All-American. Last year, averaged 45 yards a kick. And you want to keep it away from that guy, that's for sure. Tyler Boyd.
Let me tell you, that guy they're kicking to would get my attention.
He had a punt return for a touchdown in the Little Caesars Bowl last year. Flags are down, and the play is blown dead.
Probably Delaware was moving. Legal procedure. These are the mistakes you want to stay away from, Dave, early in the game. They really hurt you. These pre-snap penalties just really hurt your situation. Let me tell you, Tyler Boyd can play, people. I mean, he is a great football player. He practices hard. He can really do it. He's as good a young player as I've seen in many years.
Anderson's heels at the 5-yard line. Boyd set back at the Pitt 35. Right foots it down the field. This is a very good punt.
Great
all
punt.
the way back to the 24-yard line.
He's got some room, and it could go to the house. This guy can
Boyd trying to get wide.
It's hard to tackle this guy. Hard to tackle this guy.
Caught from behind at the Delaware 41.
Yeah. Almost outkicked his coverage there. I mean, he really had a great punt, and Tyler had a lot of field in front of him. I hear you see he misses some guy. Great blocking. It's a middle return. Look at this guy. He is really stop on a dime. He's going to accelerate. They got him from the back. Tremendous player.
So the Panthers' first offensive series of the year begins at the Delaware 41. Offset eye on first down.
Yeah, speed sweep, and they got him outside here. They've got him. Oh!
Just tripped up, Tyler Boyd. He's got the first down at the 29-yard line. That's a gain of 11. They'll move the sticks.
Pittsburgh's different because they're under the center about 80% of the game. You know, people get used to all the college games, the quarterback being in the shotgun. Pittsburgh's old time, about 80% of the game, they're going to be under the center with their quarterback.
Offensive line, this is a good group. Bisnowati, Johnson, Rowell, Rotheram, and Clemmings.
Right side is really good. Right side is excellent for Pitt.
From the 29. Wojcik with the deep handoff.
Yeah, zone play, inside zone. Just really blew him off the line there.
And James Conner takes it down just inside the 20-yard line. And it looks like another Pitt first down.
Yeah, Pitt is big up front. When I watched them practice Thursday, that was the number one thing I thought about them. They really are big up front offensively.
Salisbury, Tinsley, Plummer, and Hollerman across the front. Battle and Callaway in the linebacking crew. Watson and Rosen, the corners. C.J. Jones, the transfer from BC, and Justy, the safeties.
Fullback motion here, H-back. Inside zone again, same play, gets a different formation.
Connor inside the 10, down to the 8-yard line. We'll make it to 7, and it's first and goal, just like that for Pitt.
Yeah, they're really playing well up front. They're dominating them up early here.
Take it down to the 7.
And Mickey, you called it. Pitt's getting things cleaned up on the right side.
Yeah, they're doing a nice job. They're just really, I'm telling you, I walked out of the practice, but it got dark when I walked out there. Let me tell you, these guys are space eaters. They're really big.
7th in the ACC in red zone efficiency last year for the Panthers. Power I on first and goal from the 7. Here we go
this
again
is a power
with
play,
Connor.
a little bit different.
Connor spins, goal line, touchdown Panthers.
Yeah, it's not just a straight power play.
That's a touchdown run for James Conner.
You see the fullback leading up in there, they pull the guard. Connor's hard to tackle. He's 240 pounds, big, strong guy. He just really, you see the guard pull there and the fullback leading. They've got to do more. Delaware has to be better at the point of attack defensively to get these guys stopped right now.
Blew it on to add the extra point, up and good, and just like that, the Panthers with a quick 7-0 lead. James Conner had 8 rushing touchdowns last year for the University of Pittsburgh. Less than 5 minutes into their season opener, he's off to the races already. We'll take a quick Well, here at Hens Field, the University of Pittsburgh has grabbed a quick 7-0 lead on the University of Delaware. 4 plays, 41 yards. It was a drive that took 92 seconds, and it was set up by the tremendous punt return by Tyler Boyd. Mickey, you've been in these situations before. In fact, one of the last times I saw you was in the moments following James Madison's upset win at Virginia Tech against the Hokies. What can Delaware be thinking right now?
Well, the biggest thing we did in the Virginia Tech game here, we beat them, was we hung in there, Dave. You know, when we just hung in there to where the game was still a game in the third quarter, and that's what Delaware's got to do right now.
All right, so the kick sails through the end zone. And Delaware will start their second possession at the 20-yard line. Well, when Delaware had their first possession, obviously Michael Johnson's the plan.
On the kicking team, the ball will be placed at the 35-yard line.
Oh, so that's going to be ruled out of bounds. That was close. So that's a break for the Blue Hens. They'll move that ball out to the 35-yard line.
Yeah. Excellent field position here.
Penalty
No
moves the ball
question.
to the 35-yard line, where
Hurley's
Delaware
career
first and 10.
numbers in the top 10 in completions, top 10 in passing yards, and he'll crack the top 10 at some point this season in total yards. All right, Dave Brock and the Blue Hens haven't liked the way this game has started. We'll see if they like this possession a little bit better.
Once again, empty backfield.
Hurley's a third-year starter from Connellsville. Swing pass out of the backfield. Jalen Randolph gets the touch. He's got the corner. Flag is down. This may be coming back. He's bumped out of bounds at the 47-yard line after a gain of 12. But let's pick up the penalty.
Yeah, they've got something, I think, on the Delaware guys that were blocking out in front of the receiver.
Holding,
yeah. Bad break there. That was a really good. That was a pot. See, you teach kids this is a 25-yard penalty. That you lose the 10 yards you made, plus you lose the a 20-yard. You lose the 10 yards on the penalty.
10-yard penalty back to the 25-yard line. Delaware, first and 20.
Yeah.
Jarrell Harrison, number 4. From the 25-yard line, deep handoff, short side. Back out to the 31, and now a late flag comes in after Jalen Randolph makes the nice carry.
Flag.
Yeah, I'm not for sure what this is going to be.
Reggie Mitchell.
That's a long ways away to call that, but it appeared to be
illegal, blocking a little
okay.
ways on the offense. Number 4, 15-yard penalty from the end of the run.
A wide receiver cannot go back towards the ball and block a defender below the waist. And evidently he did that. The wide receiver for Delaware. Yeah. Good call by the official. He blocked Venable below the waist there. Good call.
And that's Harrison again on back-to-back plays. Last year, 52 yards a game in penalties, 6th in the CAA. Today already with 25. Delaware needs to get to their own 45 for a first down. Pass incomplete. It looked as if Hurley was intending that Johnson was going to turn it inside, and he turned it outside.
A quick throw there, just to catch the ball and throw it, trying to get some positive yardage. They had it covered pretty well, Pitt did. Pitt now has their nickel defense in. Have 2 linebackers, 5 defensive backs.
Randolph is a sidecar in the backfield. Hurley. Here comes a blitz. The first sack of the year coming for the Panthers. David Durham.
Oh, they've got Pitt for unsportsmanlike conduct. Really going to hurt. Going to help Delaware. Just a great pass rush. One-on-one.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 44 of the defense. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. Automatic.
Wow, so that's an automatic first down for Delaware.
These are all good calls by the officials right here. I haven't disagreed with one of them. Those are all good. You know, you've got to learn to make a sack and not, tell everyone in Amarillo, Texas you did it. Just make a tackle, get back in the huddle.
First and 10, Delaware.
Handoff short side. Bumped out of bounds at the 23-yard line.
Outside zone. It's the first time they run that play.
Wes Hills, his first touch. And a ball again on the tackle for the Panthers. And they'll come right back up to the line of scrimmage.
The tackle for the Panthers. Gain of 1. Second down, 9.
Johnson split to the top of your screen on second down and 8. And they'll go out of the power I. Hill's the tailback. Gets the ball again, short side, cuts it back inside, makes a nice move. And is stopped near the 25-yard line. Going to bring up third down, 3rd and 6.
Okay.
Here's the reason Pitt was flagged for an unsportsmanlike conduct. There you go.
Yeah, can't do that. Good call by the official.
3rd and 6.
This is a big conversion. You know, Delaware needs to make they need to make a first down right here. Keep their defense off the field. It's hot out here. It's early. They need to convert right here. Really help them.
Timeout. Delaware.
All right, so Delaware is going to burn a timeout here, and we will take it with them. 8:55 to go in our opening period. Season opener for both these teams. Delaware's got the ball. Pitt's got a 7-0 lead. Delaware in Pittsburgh after the Blue Hens timeout. They face 3rd and 6.
Yeah, this is a big conversion right here early in the game. They need to make this.
4 wide, trips to the top. Inside screen. Johnson turns across the 30, and he is right at the marker.
Yeah, it's close. It's going to be close. They'll probably have to measure. Well, I can't. I think they made it. First down.
So we've seen on a couple of occasions early on for Delaware, they click with the flanker screen.
Yeah, that's a good play for them. They've always executed that play very well down through the years. That was a good play.
Quickly back up to the line of scrimmage after the first down to the 31-yard line. Ball's loose. Botched exchange between Hurley and Wes Hills, and Hurley was able to get back on it.
Yeah, it's an unforced error, Dave. That's what really hurts you in a game like this. You know, you had a good play, now you lose 6 yards, just an unforced error. You know, Pitt's going to be good enough. Don't beat yourself.
Second down.
Good look at Hurley, the senior from Connellsville, Greensburg Central High School. Hurley with good protection, and he just missed his man that time. The protection was good. Johnson was open, and the pass was just too hot.
Yeah, the timing wasn't there. Michael had not turned around, and the ball was already gone. They've got to time that better. I couldn't see from out. The timing wasn't very good there. I'm not sure why. I didn't see it.
All right, 3rd down and long, 3rd and 17. Panthers thinking, hey, maybe a turnover coming here. Hurley, handoff to Hills inside. And he is brought down at the 29-yard line, and Delaware's going to have to punt again.
Yeah, it was a slow draw off the sprint out action. 3rd and 1,000,000. It was very conservative call. They didn't want to turn the ball over there. They need to throw the ball better down the field to stay in the game. There's no question about it.
Henderson will punt.
Henderson in for his second punt. You see his first one was an excellent punt, but Boyd made a fine return all the way back to the Delaware 41 to set them up in good shape.
Yeah, they got great field position a while ago. They started at Delaware's 40-yard line. They got to go cover this thing.
Line drive. This is returnable for Boyd from the 26-yard line. Makes the first man miss, second man miss. Still on his feet, brought down at the 38-yard line. And you can see how slippery he really is. 7:07 to go in our opening period. Pitt's got a 7-0 lead, and the Panthers have the ball back. All right, 7:07 to go in our opening period. Pitt has a 7-0 lead. James Conner, a 7-yard touchdown run. And let's take a look, Mickey, at that offensive line. This is a good group, a highly regarded group. Bisnowadi, Dorian Johnson, Rowell, Rotherham, and Clemmings.
Now, Clemmings is a great prospect. I tell you what, now they're well schooled too. Jimmy Huber, the offensive line coach, is a veteran guy, and they're well schooled and do a lot of good things.
Fake to Conner. Wojtek rolling out to the wide side, still looking, throwing, pass caught, first down, 45-yard line, and it's Tyler Boyd.
Yeah, play action. They lost containment there. They really hurt him. You know, Delaware cannot let this guy get on the edge. He can really run. Let's see what this is. All right, they covered up a receiver here, which a lot of these receivers do this. And with NFL, it's not a big deal. The college officials do a great job. I'm sure they covered up a receiver who was downfield. You can't have all these guys covering each other up. Illegal. Good call with the official.
So a loss of 5. It'll be 1st and 15. Take Boyd's first catch of the year off the board. Last year, so effective. 85 catches, averaged almost 14 yards per grab, had 5 100-yard receiving seasons. Wojtek from Cleveland, Tennessee, under center. Hand off to Conner. Conner makes one man miss, breaks another tackle, and fights his way up for a 5-yard gain. And Mickey, he did a good job on that carry. He's a load at 6'2", 250. That looked like a play that was going to be stopped near the line of scrimmage. He turned it into a 5-yard gain.
Yeah, that was simple power play. He did I watched the tape. He did a super job last year in their Little Caesars Bowl game to win the game in the fourth quarter. Big, strong guy. And he can make people miss in open field, surprisingly, when you watch the tape.
Vanessa Garner and Boyd to the top of your screen as they operate out of a one-back set. No play action this time for Wojtek as he rolls. And now that's something he can do. He can run with a football and gets down near the 44-yard line for another positive play.
Yeah, just a simple sprint. They did a good job of blocking the perimeter. It was a run-throw option, run-pass option, and he ran the ball.
87 yards. Moves to the Panthers.
Wojtek on the carry. You know, Pitt surrendered 43 sacks last year. Tom Savage, he could throw the ball well, but he wasn't really that mobile. Paul Christ and the coaching staff at Pitt think that sack total is probably going to go down because of the maturation of this offensive line and Wojtek's ability to scramble out of the pocket. And here he goes again on another keeper.
That's just a quarterback sweep. Nothing fancy about that. That's an old single wing play. I'm sure all the old guys watching it here on television will recognize that play. That's an old single wing tailback sweep, quarterback sweep. Very good run today. They had it defended. Wojtek's a good runner. Excellent.
And it's a first down for the Panthers.
Out to the 49-yard line.
Boy, Rotherham is a handful when he gets rolling. 6'6", 335.
Yeah, they're big. I'll say it again. They are huge.
To the wide side. Isaac Bennett, that's his first carry of the season.
Yeah, well defended, Dave. That was just they pulled a couple of linemen. There's outside zone. Delaware played it very well. They played well at the point of attack. Good pursuit for the inside. Very well defended.
David Mackel, the senior middle linebacker from Baltimore, made the stop. Gain of 1 for Isaac Bennett, the senior from Tulsa. He rushed for almost 800 yards as well last year for Pitt. Wojtek, 7-step drop, blitz coming. He's able to beat it. They go to the under receiver and make the catch. And Jones goes spinning out of bounds. And he's got a Pitt first down.
Yeah, great read by Wojtek. They blitzed, Delaware blitzed. Quarterback saw it, saw the short crossing route for a good gain. Great read by the quarterback. Terrific.
Ronald Jones, the junior from Fort Meade, Florida, knows what to do with it when he gets his hands on the football. And the Panthers on the march again in Delaware territory. 1st and 10 at the Blue Hens 36. Fake to Connor. Wojtek rolling out. Delivers it to Connor. And he spins up, and he does have another first down at the Delaware 25.
Yeah, we call that a flow pass where they fake the flow of the backs go that way to the field, and the guys slip the guy out in the flat, and it's very, very well executed by Pitt.
Connor made a nice adjustment on that ball, had to reach behind him, and turns and then picks up the first down. So at the 25-yard line, 1st and 10. Sun back out here. It's a warm afternoon, humid here in Pittsburgh today. Connor breaks one tackle trying to get to the outside, still on his feet. Inside the 20 and down to the 19-yard line. And again, Delaware looked to have Connor stopped, and he breaks a tackle.
It was a great individual effort. They blitzed, had a great run blitz called, had him for a yard or 2 loss, and he broke all the tackles. And it was a great effort by the back. Let me tell you, they had it defended. That's called your guys better than my guys, what that's called when you coach. Because it was very good coaching by Delaware. He's just a really good player.
From just outside the 18-yard line. 2nd down and 4. Wojtek swings it out to Boyd. Boyd breaks one tackle and goes diving ahead inside the 15-yard line.
Yeah, good scheme by Pitt. They're just trying to get the ball to Tyler Boyd in the open field. They've got to do that during the game to help their calls. It's, whatever it is, hand it to him or throw it to him.
Panthers first down.
So it's a Panther first down just outside the 12. Pitt has dominated play here. It's 7-0. They've dominated the time of possession as well. Knocking on the door again inside the red zone. Wojtek back to pass. Looking end zone. The diving catch is made for a touchdown. That's Tyler Boyd.
That's a great corner route. Very well executed. I believe that's the first drop back pass they've thrown, I think, Dave. Everything else has been play action or sprint. That was 5-step drop. Nice throw. Good touch on the ball. Here you see him right here. He's on his toes, nice. Turns it over. Good route by Tyler. Hard to defend down there. Hard to defend. Yeah, that's good. He's a baller, no question. He's a heck of a player.
Chris Blewett, 40 of 41 last year in extra points and 2 for 2 so far this season. And this one for Pitt is going according to the script, 13 minutes in. Tyler Boyd, big punt return to set up a touchdown, check. Touchdown catch, check. Chad Wojtek, first career touchdown pass for the Panthers, check. 14-0.
Yeah, Delaware needs to move the ball right now, Dave. They need to move the ball. It's going to get hot out here. These 3- and 4-yard runs are going to become 15-yard runs for Pitt if they don't watch it.
More college action involving Pittsburgh teams coming our way today at 3:30 as Duquesne travels to Buffalo to take on the UB Bulls. So after our Pitt game, join us for Duquesne and Buffalo at 3:30 right here on ESPN3 and the Watch ESPN app. In the ACC, we've got a few early starts. 14-0 here. UCLA is in Charlottesville taking on Virginia. No score, about 90 seconds left in the opening quarter. Also underway, Georgia Southern at NC State. Wofford and Georgia Tech, no score. There's Michael Johnson back to receive this kickoff. And he would like to make a big play and get Delaware back in this game. Blewett sends it down the field, and that will go through the end zone for a touchback.
That's a great kick. Terrific.
And that's a good effort, considering his last kickoff went out of bounds for a penalty. Delaware first 2 drives, a dozen plays, 13 total yards. They have nearly 3 times as many penalty yards. Got to avoid those mistakes.
Yeah, they had 2 really good plays that got called back. Positive yards. That can't happen to you. Like, I'm going to say it again. Pittsburgh is good enough. You can't help them. You got to stay away from the big penalty.
So Trent Hurley, the senior from Connellsville, leads the Delaware offense back out onto the field. He's a third-year starter. First at Delaware since Matt Nagy back in 1998 through 2000. 1st and 10 from the 25. Good protection. Looking right down the seam, and the pass is picked off for the Panthers. Adonis Jennings makes the interception.
Yeah, just straight zone coverage. They try a little pump and go. The free safety did not bite on the pump. Big mistake there. You see him pump right here. Free safety's reading his eyes.
Check that. That's Webb.
Yeah, really good secondary play by Pitt. Really solid.
Interception made by Webb, and Pitt is in business again.
You got to hang in there now if you're Delaware. You got to hang in there. Make something good happen.
Terrish Webb, the sophomore from Clarion. Connor to the short side. And Delaware is able to stack that up for a gain of maybe 1 yard, and that's probably the best defensive play for Delaware in the quarter.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, now that was just simple power play. See him pull the backside guard, leading with the fullback. Just old school power. Delaware defended it very well. Their kids did not allow the ball to bounce.
Wow. Pitt, 14 plays, 109 total yards so far. It's been rough for Delaware. Here we go. 2nd down. Trying to get wide.
Yeah, they ran the outside zone. The corner for Delaware ran inside then, and they lost leverage. Their defense lost leverage right here. If you watch, I don't know if we have a replay of it, but you see the defensive right corner for Delaware goes inside the block. They actually played pretty good inside. You see these guys pulling outside, and you see the corner show up inside right there. See him inside, and they don't have any leverage, and that was the whole play right there.
All right, so Bennett knocked out of bounds.
And 1, 3rd and short. Outside the 16.
3rd and a yard. Power eye set for Pitt. Connor, 1st down and more.
James Conner on the carry.
Yeah, that's just straight power. There's nothing, just, straight power and really good running by the back. They actually had to defend it pretty well, and Kelly's well coached. He stayed in the 8 gap where he needed to stay, and very good positive yards. Absolutely. Yeah, he's strong. And he has big legs.
Could be the final play of the opening quarter. 1st and goal for Pitt at the 8. Connor again inside the 5 to the goal line, stretches it out. Touchdown Panthers.
Yeah,
Touchdown.
nothing but power. Backside guard pulls here. Fullback leading. He stays with his knitting right here where he's blocking. Very good running. Excellent coaching the power play, which Pitt does a great job with it. These Wisconsin guys can coach the power play, believe me.
Yeah, they sure can.
They can run the power as good as anyone in college football.
Connor with his 2nd rushing touchdown of the quarter. Flags here on the extra point attempt.
The previous play, touchdown. Previous play is under review.
All right, so we'll take another look. It was ruled as a 9-yard touchdown run.
Yeah, I think it's pretty. I'm sure they have to do this, but it's used in the end zone a good half yard. I guess on a replay they can see his knee coming down, but look there, he's well, this camera angle, he may already be over the white line when his knee touches.
So the replay crew is taking another look at this. It's going to be close.
Yeah, we don't have a camera on the white line. It has to be indisputable, right? I believe
it does. It looked as if he had the ball stretched over the plane. Here's another look.
Yeah, it's close. I would really be surprised if this is overturned. Right there. Yeah. I guess I could call it on the 6-inch line.
Well, this replay gives Delaware a chance to regroup, and they need it.
They really do. They just need to move the ball.
After review, the ruling on the field stands.
Yeah, that's
touchdown.
Right. That's a good call by the official. Delaware needs to move the ball. Their defensive kids are getting tired. It's hot out here. Field position, they've had 2 drives of 40 yards. Field position and their offense not moving the ball is really hurting them right now.
Let's blow it for the point after.
That's how the scoreboard sometimes can really, not tell the entire story, because Delaware's defense is actually playing okay. They've hung in there. They just need to move the ball on the other side.
Kick is up and good, and Pitt has a 21-0 lead.
On the score, Pitt 21, Delaware 0.
Join us later today on ESPN3 for more Atlantic Coast Conference college football. We've got Duke hosting Elon for you tonight on ESPN3. Game time is 6 on ESPN3. Elon stepping up quickly, moving up from the Southern Conference into the CAA this year. How about Duke? David Cutcliffe, what a great job he did with the Blue Devils last year. Got him into the ACC championship game against Florida State. Nearly knocked out Johnny Football and Texas A&M in their bowl game.
I've coached against Dave when I was coaching at Georgia. He was at Tennessee. I always thought he was one of the top offensive coaches in the country. Nice guy, but he is brilliant. He's a great play caller, mixes it up, doing a great job at Duke. When you do what he's doing to Duke right now, it gets everyone's attention.
17, Michael Wilson is Duke.
Another one through the end zone.
Yeah, I tell you what, this guy.
Lewitt's got the good foot.
The best way to describe him, he hits driver off. He doesn't hit 5-wood.
No.
I mean, he hits driver, but he hits it all. No question. He drills it.
So Delaware's offense will come back out. Just 7 seconds left in our opening period. It's great to have college football back. Started on Wednesday night with Georgia State beating Abilene Christian inside the Georgia Dome, but really got going on Thursday. Shocker leading into the weekend, obviously, Texas A&M and what they did to South Carolina on Thursday night. 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line for the Blue Hens. Jalen Randolph on the carry, picks up maybe a yard, and that will be the final play of the opening period. A first quarter that was dominated by that man's team, Paul Christ and the University of Pittsburgh Panthers at home here at Hens Field. We head to the second quarter. It's been all Panthers, 21-0 after one. A beautiful day for college football. A little warm here at Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. The opener for the Panthers and for Delaware. And the Blue Hens have struggled on each of their first 4 possessions. And they tried to get the ball to the wide side. That ball came out after the runner was down.
Yeah, I think he's down. And good call with the official. It's a speed sweep. Almost had the edge. They're really close to having the edge there. They're just trying to.
27, Troy Galvin had the carrying sweep.
Yeah, he's down. No question. Good call. Wait, in fact, it wasn't even close, really.
It was Troy Gallen on the carry for Delaware. We've already had some excitement here on this first Saturday of college football where Penn State used a late field goal to beat UCF 26-24. Hurley steps up, throws, nearly intercepted.
Yeah,
incomplete at the 45.
I'm not sure what they were trying to do there, Dave. It was he threw the ball out, and Mike didn't break out, so I'm not sure where they were there.
And Delaware's going to have to punt the football again.
He steps up in the pocket, nice. I guess Mike fell. That's what it was. Mike just fell down on his break.
Anderson is back to punt for Delaware. 88, Kevin Weatherspoon, deep for the Panthers.
All right, so Tyler Boyd has already caught a touchdown and had a big punt return, but now it's Kevin Weatherspoon back to receive this punt at the 26-yard line for the Panthers. Relatively short kick, caught on the run, ball's loose. Still loose.
I think Delaware's got it.
And
I think they do.
Blue Hens think they have it. Don't know what's going on at the bottom of the pile.
Yeah. Watch it, children. Watch it, children. Get a little frisky.
Still no signal. Delaware does have the ball.
All right. Well, this is early season mistake, you know, and it challenge your kids.
For Delaware coming out of there with a football. Opoku for Delaware. So here's an opportunity for Delaware to get a little closer.
No question.
This game's been dominated by Pittsburgh, and after the turnover, they'll start this drive. They get the short field. They'll begin at the Pitt 28. Swing pass out of the backfield to Johnson. Across the 25, up near the 23-yard line.
They line Michael Johnson up in the backfield and put him in motion. Throw a little slip screen out to him. Good positive yards. No penalties this time, so they 2nd and 5. Very manageable for their offense.
And Opoku, who came up with the fumble recovery, is a transfer from UConn, a senior from New Brunswick, New Jersey. There's Johnson keeping his streak alive of catches. 2nd down and 5. Fake the wide receiver sweep. Going to the end zone. That's going to be picked off. Intercepted. The interception for Pittsburgh is made, and that's Todd Thomas.
They
Second career interception.
Yeah, they knocked the guy out of bounds. I mean, he's over there by the cheerleaders here. The guy, the intended receiver, is out of bounds about 5 yards. I don't know if we have a replay of that, but he gets collision. Super job by the Pitt defense.
So a golden opportunity for Delaware to get on the board, goes by the board. Pitt's defense comes up with the turnover. Hurley hit as he throws. Interception made by the weak side linebacker, Todd Thomas, the senior from Beaver Falls. It's 21-0 Panthers.
You'll see they're faking the speed sweep here. Hurley's faking the ball to number 4 right here, and he's trying to hit Randolph down the sideline here. And he's actually hit in the back right here by number 9. That's who they're trying to throw the ball to, and he's out of bounds over there, and it's an easy catch. I don't know about that one. They need to call that.
Vinopal with the hit. It was Thomas with the interception. And Jalen Randolph on the sidelines wondering about what might have been. We've got to change at quarterback now for the Panthers. Trey Anderson, the fourth-year junior, is in the game.
You know, that play shows you how big and strong. They run quarterback sneak and make 9 yards. I mean, they are big up front.
From Pearland, Texas. That's your country, Mickey.
Oh, yeah, I know Pearland real. Tony Heath, his coach, played for me in West Texas. Pearland has great high school football. No question. This kid's a very good player. They're very high on him at Pitt.
Redshirted last year. A little bit more of a runner. So that's a gain of almost 9. It's second down and a long yard. They're going to go out of the power I.
Guess what? They ran the power.
Yep.
When all else fails, run the power.
Yeah. Pretty consistent for the Panthers so far today, Mickey. Look at that. 3 possessions, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, they're doing a super job running that play. And you got to, that's one thing about that play. It's very consistent, it's very solid, and you've got to make the ball bounce. You can't let them keep running north and south.
2 of those 3 possessions in the first quarter that resulted in Panther touchdowns. They got the short field. Once after an interception and once after a Tyler Boyd punt return. This is going to be a little bit more of a drive. Ball's loose, still loose, and it looks like Delaware may have gotten it back. No. Pitt got the recovery coming out of there at the bottom of the pile. They were able to recover that football.
Yeah, it
Big
was
68, Clemmings.
Yeah, that was just inside zone. It was a good job by Delaware pulling the ball out, but they got back on it.
Connor was stripped to the football. Clemmings came up with it. Connor's already got 2 rushing touchdowns in this game. That matches his career high. He had 2 rushing touchdowns last year against Notre Dame. Second and a yard from the 24. Breaking tackles at the line of scrimmage and bouncing it outside for about 5 more is Isaac Bennett.
Yeah, that's the inside zone. They actually brought pressure from the field. Delaware brought a blitz from the field. It should have been stopped, but the guy broke so many tackles. Once again, it's called your guy. My guy's better than your guy. You know, they just couldn't tackle him at the line of scrimmage.
And we've got a stoppage of play for an injured Delaware player back at the 21-yard line. That's Derek Battle, the linebacker from Charlotte, North Carolina. Derek Battle getting medical attention. Will take a timeout and come back to Hens Field in just a moment. Let's see if we can pick up the injury as we go away. There it is right there. It's been all Pitt at Hens Field early in the second, 21-0 Panthers. Well, the strong side linebacker Derek Battle needed help to get off the field. It looks like a knee injury. He's a junior from Charlotte. And, you know, he's really had an injury-riddled career. He missed 2012. He missed the entire season with injuries. He comes from a very athletic family. His mom played tennis at Morgan State. His dad played football at North Carolina A&T. Dante Raymond, number 20, a freshman, is in there at the strong side linebacker now for Delaware. And Boyd takes a hit as he gets to the 35-yard line.
Pitt runs a speed sweep to Boyd, once again trying to get him the ball in the open field. Very well defended. They did a nice job. They had containment there. They had containment by their defense, and when the guy tried to turn it up, they had good pursuit. That's the way good defenses play. Very good play.
Salisbury was the first to arrive, and he finished the job. Derek Salisbury, the defensive end from St. Mary's, Georgia. He's one of the top defensive ends in the CAA. 2nd down and 5. Handoff inside. Look at this. Connor, it's a race to the end zone inside the 5. He's going to be dragged down from behind a horse collar. It prevents the touchdown. James Conner nearly had his 3rd touchdown of the first half.
Once again, it's just straight power. We'll see it again here. You'll see watch the backside guard pull. They've even brought the H-back, 31 there, and free safety misses the tackle.
Half the distance to the goal.
When your free safety misses like that, it turns a 6-yard gain into a 60-yard gain. That hurts you. You've got to be good tacklers in the secondary. Horse collar to end. Kid just trying to get him down. Good call with the official.
Connor already 10 carries, 72 yards. Pitt looking to cap a 98-yard drive here. 1st and goal at the 2. Connor. And he does not get the end zone.
Nice job by Delaware up front there. They whipped them up front. One few times this year in this game here that Delaware whipped them. I tell you, that's a nice job by the front of Delaware.
At the 1-yard line. Good look at Connor there a moment ago. Led Pitt in rushing last year. First freshman to do that since Dion Lewis back in 09. Wouldn't be surprised if he gets the ball here again. Connor, end zone, touchdown Pitt.
James Conner on the 1-yard run into the Delaware end zone.
Just inside zone. Good blocking, point of attack. Good north and south running. Didn't have a yard to go.
So James Conner did most of the heavy lifting on that drive.
Yeah, Connor's good. He's a good football player. I can tell he's big, strong, well coached.
It's the 28.
James Conner, his 3rd rushing touchdown. We'll take a break and come back to Pittsburgh, where it's been all Panthers here in the first half. They lead Delaware 28-0. I tell you what, it's been a great afternoon so far in the Pitt student section. They lead Delaware 28-0. Meanwhile, out on the field, James Conner, what a day. 3 touchdowns, 3 rushing touchdowns in a game. That's a career high. 13 rushes, 134 yards, Mickey, more than 10 yards a touch.
Yeah, once again, I want to say the guy is really a good football player. He's just a sophomore, just learning the game. He's big and strong. He makes you miss in the open field much more than you would think.
Going to stay in the end zone with that.
That's a touchback.
And bring it out to the 25-yard line.
This guy has he hits driver. He doesn't lay up. Now, let me tell you, he can really kick the ball. Those are great kickoffs. Really helps your team, David. You got a kickoff guy like that.
Michael Johnson was not back on that kickoff return.
Yeah, he's coming out with the offense.
So from the 25-yard line, there's Michael Johnson, number 17.
Yeah. In the slot. Line up in the slot.
One back set. Going to try to build a little momentum and put some positive plays together on the ground if they can. They start on the run.
Yeah, Delaware needs, that was the inside zone. They just need to make some first downs. They need to make some first downs. I'm sure that's what Dave's been telling them on the sideline.
Wes Hills, the carry. Durham, the tackle for Pitt. Gain of 3. It's 2nd down and 7.
Now they need to have some positive throws, short throws, run with it after you catch it. Things like that are going to help Delaware.
Here's a look at number 31. Wes Hills as they operate from the power I. Play action. Hurley sacked back at the 17-yard line. And it's Mitchell coming off the corner, Reggie Mitchell.
Yeah, they're in corner blitz.
So Reggie Mitchell, the sophomore from Shady Side Academy.
On the backside, Curley never sees the guy. It was a good call by the defensive staff. They went really maximum protection here. They should have picked the guy up.
Yeah, for Mitchell, I'll tell you what, that was a long time coming. He sat out last year, a transfer from Wisconsin. That's going to feel pretty good.
Yeah, it's very good. Good call. Once again, Pitt's in their nickel defense here.
Pitt is 2 for 2 on 3rd down conversions. Delaware has had all kinds of trouble on 3rd down, but Pitt's been perfect on 3rd down conversion attempts.
Yeah,
flag is down.
Yeah. Delaware's losing their concentration a little bit now. When you get down, you got to concentrate.
On the offense. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Blue Hens 1 for 4 on 3rd down conversion attempts. We'll try it again.
Yeah, hurt you.
Hey, I tell you what a great day here in Pittsburgh. Got a noon kickoff here at Hens Field. Meanwhile, a PNC at 4 o'clock. Many of these fans probably going to walk over and see the Pirates play the Reds. Rib Fest. We got a concert going on this afternoon. A lot of great things downtown.
Well, it's a 3-ring circus here. There's no question.
Swing pass, nothing doing.
It's just, they can't get their lineman out in front of the receiver. It happened a couple of times on the jailbreak screen. That was a little slip screen, what we call. And if you watch a replay, I hope we have that, you'll see the linemen are not getting out in front of the back or the receivers.
Lafayette Pitts. I guess he's the old man amongst this new crew of defensive backs for Pitt.
You just see the linemen don't get there in time, to block this guy. You see him right there, they don't get there. It's just the timing's not there right now for Delaware.
Tyler Boyd is back to receive this punt at the 40-yard line.
Yeah, Coach Chris saw enough of that other guy dropping the ball. You saw enough of that. I've been there, done that.
Anderson from out of the end zone. A flag is down. Boyd will take it. No fair catch at the 43-yard line. He is so quick in the open field. Look at him go.
Yeah.
Finally knocked out of bounds just shy of the Delaware 30-yard line.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the penalty is.
Now that's what you don't want to see.
Yeah.
Is it that pinky finger on the left hand?
Something. I don't know if it's.
And this is big for Pitt.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, there's a lot of people not breathing right now in the stadium. Okay.
So here's Tyler Boyd on the return.
illegal formation on a kicking team. 5-yard penalty will be tacked on to the end of the run. First down.
So right there, the last collision is what did it. I'm not for sure. The camera doesn't show it, but his left hand definitely got caught with his wrist or something.
Well, training staff is definitely around Tyler Boyd right now, and they're taking a look at that hand. We'll try to give you an injury update on that if we get one.
Yeah,
it's funny, he had been taken off the punt return team, but when they put Weatherspoon back there, he fumbled. Yeah. And so Boyd came back onto the field.
Great field position once again for Pitt. I mean, they're starting at the 25-yard line here. It's tough on the Delaware defense.
Swing pass out of the backfield, caught down to the 19-yard line. So Jones makes his second catch of the first half.
Got a little bubble screen out here, and the corner plays much better for Delaware. Allows him, he keeps containment, allows his buddies to come help him. Nice job.
And it looks like they're going to take Tyler Boyd back to the locker room right now.
Yeah.
Chad Wojtek is back in there at quarterback for the Panthers. We've seen two quarterbacks here in the first half. Inside 10-5, touchdown Panthers again. Connor again, his fourth touchdown.
Yeah, terrific job of blocking up front. Inside zone, that they run a blitz. Delaware moves a lot of guys at the line of scrimmage right here in different directions. And you see the Pitt offensive front picks them all up. Jimmy Huber does a super job. Watch number 11 coming in here, and they block him. And that's where there's a huge hole inside. Terrific job by the Pitt front. I mean, really well schooled. Very impressed.
19-yard touchdown run. Connor's fourth of the first half, as he goes north of 150 yards rushing here in the half. Kick is up and good. 35-0 Panthers with 6 minutes to go in the half. James Conner with his fourth touchdown run in the first half. But the injury to Tyler Boyd is what everybody's thinking about here at Heinz Field. .6:16 to go in our first half. This game has been all Pitt. I don't think the Pitt's punters even gotten off the bench today, Mickey.
Yep. Delaware needs to get something positive going into the half right here, you know, because you want your kids to get some right now they're not playing a lot of confidence on either side of the ball. Offensively, they actually came out and did some nice things in the first quarter and got some costly penalties, Dave. But Delaware needs to move the ball, go down and get a score for the half. feel better about themselves, regroup.
Troy Gallen is back to receive this punt for the Blue Hens. Michael Johnson, we've seen him return kicks. And how about this one? From the goal line, Gallen, 10, 15, makes one man miss and brings it out to the 18-yard line. And that's where the Blue Hens will start 1st and 10. You know, you're down 35-0 in a game like this. Obviously, for Delaware, the CAA, that race, getting into the FCS playoffs, that's the most important thing. But you'd like to really get something positive to build on right before the half.
You want your kids going into half, they can do something. Because right now, you've got -4 yards rushing and completed very few passes. And they just need to have some positive plays right now. There's no question, because the only way you get confident to do something positive. They're Wildcat right now. Michael Johnson at quarterback.
So the snap to Johnson, and he is stacked up at the line. No gain.
Now they lined Hurley up at wide receiver right here and had Michael Johnson run really the same play Pitt ran, this quarterback sweep.
Galambos makes the stop.
Yeah, it's the student body right. They pull some. They just don't block anyone. They got a chance right here. Pitt does a good job.
There's Galambos, 47.
Same play.
Trying it to the wide side. Johnson.
Oh, close.
Yeah. Tripped up in the backfield, or he would have really gotten rolling. Delaware just hasn't been able to throw the football here. Hurley, 6 of 11 for 19 yards. He's been picked twice. It was Anthony Gonzalez who tripped him up.
Yeah, Gonzalez did a nice job. They ran a counter play there. Little counter. They're really just a half a step away from having a good play. Delaware's really close. They give the Pitt defense a lot of credit. They can run on defense. Pitt can run. That's a magic thing on defense. How fast do you run?
4 wide with a sidecar for Hurley. They're 1 of 5 on 3rd down attempts. It's 3rd down and 7. And here
Blitz.
They come. Ball tipped. Diving interception attempt. Benapal nearly had it at the 30-yard line, but it goes incomplete, and we'll see another Delaware punt.
Pitt ran a max blitz right here. They actually picked up pretty nice by Delaware here. You see you see their man-to-man coverage, tight man-to-man coverage right there. Really good. Really good defensive play. But the Delaware offensive front picked that blitz up pretty well. They complete that. You tell your receivers right there, they've got to win. When you've got man-to-man coverage, your receivers got to win and get open.
Weatherspoon is back there to receive this punt. Going to take it on a hop, and he is immediately dropped at the 39-yard line. By the way, Tyler Boyd, we have not seen him back on the Pittsburgh sideline since he left the field to get attention to that left hand. Our halftime report sponsored by Capital One. Mickey and I will take a look at the preseason polls for both the ACC and the CAA. Steve Peterson will join me, the Pitt AD, and we'll have highlights and stats and analysis. That's all coming up at the half on our Capital One halftime report. Nose of the football at the Pitt 40. Trying to build on a 35-0 lead. Pitt has looked very good here in the first half.
Yeah. Zone play, and Pitt continues to pound. That's what they just pound you. I mean, they pound you.
Chris James, his first carry for the Panthers. There's an awful lot of excitement about Chris James.
They have a bevy of good backs at Pitt. When I watch them practice, every 3 or 4 minutes they show me another back. I said, what a great player he is going to be. And they've got a bunch of backs.
James rated as one of the nation's top 25 running back prospects out of Notre Dame Prep in Chicago. Flags are down.
Now, Paul and his guys are doing a terrific job of recruiting. It's always watching this. They're Pitt as a young football team. I read where they had 80 underclassmen on their team, but they're skilled. They're going to get nothing but better. I mean, this is a good football team playing right now.
Yeah, James's numbers, he's got video game numbers in high school. Rushed for over 4,200 yards, 53 touchdowns. 7 yards a touch as a senior. And his YouTube video was viewed over 2 million times.
How about that? How about that?
Coming to the wide side, first down and a little bit more, out to the 45-yard line. And now we're seeing the rest of the backs for the Pitt Panthers. And that's the first carry we've seen from Rashid Ibrahim, the sophomore from Rockville, Maryland.
They this is what happens to you in a game like this. They just keep bringing in fresh backs, and you don't have a lot of players on defense, and your kids really get tired. I mean, you know, I call it a Coke to go defense because you get your order and a Coke to go on the sideline, you know.
First and 10 from the 45-yard line.
When your offense is not moving the ball.
How about Pitt now? 15 first downs here in the first half. Going to keep it on the ground again. There's James. And James runs into a little traffic this time and is stopped after a yard gain.
Yeah, this, once again, I've said this about 10 million times. They ran the power. This time they bounced it outside. Usually the guard pull there and the fullback leading. It just over and over and over.
Pitt has rushed for almost 250 yards here in the first half.
Yeah.
25 rushes, 234 ground yards. Second down and 9. 2.5 minutes to play in the first half. Pitt has all 3 of their timeouts. Up 35-0 here at home. Wojtek back to pass. Throws, pass is caught, out of bounds at the 26-yard line. And Ronald Jones has had a good first half. That's his 3rd catch.
Yeah, this 5-step drop. They've run very few drop back passes. That was 5. You get the quarterback take 5 steps. Watch him take 5 steps here. And nice out cut. Good throw. This is a long throw right here by Wojtek. Very good throw. Very accurate. I think he's going to be a heck of a player in the ACC. I really do. I think he's going to make some noise.
Wojtek rolling, throwing on the run. And just could not make the connection with Jones. If that ball's on target, Jones probably scores.
Yeah, this is bootleg, naked bootleg here. You see what we call it that because there's no one blocking out in front of him here. He needs to complete this thing. You know, he won't be very proud of that. Will not be a good play in the film session tomorrow.
Second down and 10. Ibrahim, the lone setback. Wojtek from Cleveland, Tennessee, making his first career start for Pitt under center.
He has a good presence about him, Dave.
Ibrahim to the wide side, turns the corner, breaks one arm tackle, and he is very close to the first down, up near the marker at the 17-yard line. Ibrahim from Rockville, Maryland, played in every game last year.
See, the outside zone, they're pulling a few linemen here, and the corner needs to play a little bit better right there, but just good running by the kid. Really good running.
Ibrahim's best game last year came against Miami. Had 4 rushes for 51 yards, also had a 23-yard touchdown catch in that game. Third down and less than a yard. Power set. First down, 5-yard line. It's going to be first and goal, and Chris James nearly took it to the house. And he knows it.
Now, this is just a power play without pulling the backside guard. This is coming right at you. This is just an Alamo play right here now. I mean, they come right at you. Joe Rudolph with the offensive staff doing a great job of schooling their backs where to run, doing a nice job. They're very simple. They're very sound, tough.
Will James' first career touchdown come right here? Yes.
Yeah.
Touchdown Panthers. So Chris James, a 1-yard touchdown run. First trip into the end zone.
Power again without pulling the backside guard, but they just really blow them off the ball. You know, they're big up front. I keep saying that. They're really big up front. Very experienced, very well schooled.
Kick is up and good. So the Panthers have scored on every possession here in the first half. They are 6 for 6, 6 touchdowns, James Conner has 4 touchdowns. Tyler Boyd has a touchdown catch. And the highly regarded freshman from Chicago, Chris James, into the end zone for the first time in his Panther career.
Yeah, they could have sent the punter for Pitt to get pizza. They talk about all the great pizza in Pittsburgh. They could have sent him for pizza in the first half, because this has been a total dominant effort by the Pittsburgh offense.
Pitt has rushed for 263 yards here in the first half. ESPN3 college football. You usually don't see a rivalry game to kick off the season, but that's what we've got today at 3 on ESPN3. It's bragging rights in the state of Massachusetts as the UMass Minutemen host Boston College. Again, you can see all the action starting at 3 right here on ESPN3 and on the Watch ESPN app.
Yeah,
and it's great to have college football back.
Yeah, that'll be interesting how Mark Whipple does at UMass against Boston College. That'll be an interesting game up there, no question.
Blake Fronapple, the former backup quarterback at Marshall, is the starting quarterback for UMass. UMass playing in their last season in the Mid-American Conference.
Yeah, he's from Fredericksburg, Virginia. He's a good player. Good blocking here. Good blocking. They were close. They were close.
And just one more comment about that UMass BC game. Something tells me that the Pitt coaches will be watching that game with great interest, because the Panthers will be at Boston College next week.
That's going to be a big game next week. No question. No question.
I mean, you look at Pitt's schedule. At BC, at FIU, then they come back home to play Iowa. Iowa's playing Northern Iowa right now. Akron, and then at Virginia. A couple of breaks, and Pitt really gets out of the gate in really good shape.
They need a break right now. They need to get Tyler Boyd healthy, coming out of that locker room.
Yeah, that's for sure. How about that tremendous defense? The stop behind the line of scrimmage by Bam Bradley.
Outside zone, they just can't block them. You know, they're close in some situations. They just can't get anything blocked cleanly right now. Delaware can't. You know, their kids are trying hard. They just can't get it done right now.
And Jalen Randolph had nowhere to go. Delaware has 2 timeouts, but trailing 42-0. It looks like they're just going to circle the wagons here and try to get back to the locker room.
Yeah, they need to go get a drink of water and sit down and think about it a little while. No question.
Loss of 5. Pitt has held Delaware to -8 rushing yards here in the first half.
Yeah, not blocking them.
Again, it's Randolph. So Randolph goes out of bounds with 13 seconds left. This could be the last play of the first half. Pitt has scored 21 points in each of the first 2 quarters. It's 42-0 with just seconds left until halftime.
Third and 11.
3rd and 11 for the Blue Hens. Hurley turns and hands the ball off. And that's Randolph.
That's a positive play. That's inside zone. They blocked him pretty well there.
And time will run out here in the first half. And what a way to open the season for the University of Pittsburgh and Paul Chryst. Chryst in his 3rd season as the head coach, Pitt in its 2nd year in the ACC. Looking to build on the momentum they ended the season with last year with a bowl win in Detroit. They head back to the locker room here at Hens Field, leading Delaware 42-0.
Grab yourself some popcorn. Cue the epic movie music, because this is a blockbuster. The Quicksilver card from Capital One doesn't do rotating categories or cashback limits. So you walk away with unlimited 1.5% cashback on every purchase every single day without the outrageous gain. Now that's a good ending. What's in your wallet?
This is the Capital One Halftime Report.
And a beautiful day here in Pittsburgh, and we welcome you back inside Hens Field. The second half of our game between Delaware and the University of Pittsburgh is coming up. Dave Weekley and Mickey Matthews in the booth. And Mickey, since it's week number one, I think that the preseason polls in both the ACC and the CAA are still relevant. Let's go ahead and take a look in the Atlantic Coast Conference, where you have the Atlantic and the Coastal Division. Florida State is the overwhelming pick to win the Atlantic, and they're also the overwhelming pick to win the championship game in that conference.
Well, there's no question that Florida State, it was the dominant team in the league last year, and they have a lot of players returning, including a great quarterback. You've got to pick them. Clemson's awful good. The team I really think is going to really make a run in the league there on the other side is Virginia Tech and the Coastal, because they do not play Florida State or Clemson. And since my SEC days, a lot of times these big conferences, who are the crossover games, and Virginia Tech definitely has advantage.
When you take a look at the Atlantic Division, how about Syracuse just surviving against Villanova in double overtime? And Wake Forest was a loser on Thursday night on the road at Louisiana Monroe, 17-10. Now in the Coastal, Miami is the pick. Duke won that division last year and lost in the championship game. I think Virginia Tech is a little bit underrated. And the University of Pittsburgh down at number 6. Well, you take a look at their schedule. They don't have to play Florida State. They don't have to play Louisville. And Kirk Herbstreit last week said that Pitt was his upset winner in the Coastal Division. Let's swing over now and take a look at the Colonial Athletic Association. In the CAA, New Hampshire is the pick, followed by Villanova, Richmond, William & Mary, Towson, and Delaware is in the middle of the pack at number 6.
Yeah, I really believe that Villanova should be the favorite. You know, I haven't certainly kept up with it since I'm not coaching in the league anymore. But, you know, John Robertson is the dominant player in the nation. He's the quarterback at Villanova. People haven't watched him play. He's a great player. They got upset. They got beat last night in double overtime, as you spoke about in the Syracuse game. But the top 6 or 7 teams are all about the same. They've got to stay healthy, and that'll be who wins.
And you take a look at the CAA, 7 through 12. You have Maine, JMU, Stony Brook is building, Albany, URI, and Elon at number 12. It's a transition for Elon as they move up from the Southern Conference.
Yeah, it's really hard to say what those bottom teams there. Of course, JMU should probably be picked higher. They have a lot of returning players. Towson's rebuilding, and Richmond has a great quarterback as well as Villanova, so it'll be interesting.
All right, we'll take a break here, come back with more of our halftime report in just a second from Pittsburgh. We're at the break, second half coming up. The Delaware Blue Hens and the University of Pittsburgh Panthers right here on ESPN3.
This is the Capital One Halftime Report.
Capital One halftime report continues from the city of Pittsburgh, and what a gorgeous afternoon it's been. And it's been a great day for your Panther fans so far as the Panthers lead Delaware 42-0. Steve Peterson joins me, the athletic director at the University of Pittsburgh, here in the booth. And Steve, this was funny. I just saw Bill Hillgrove, the longtime voice of the Panthers, on radio. And I said, how are the Panthers looking? He said, big and sweaty.
Well, it's been a great start. You know, I was talking to Mickey about it. Like home openers are tricky, you know, and we got a new quarterback. We got a lot of young players playing, but certainly our coaches have done a tremendous job of getting them ready to go. And our guys have come out and played very well. It's a focused group. It's a mature group of guys, and they've approached the preparation a lot like Paul wants them to. You know, Paul's even keel, and I think we've played consistent today, which is great.
You know, you say that they're a mature group of guys. They played mature, but if you really take a look at the number of underclassmen that are in the 2D, Pitt is one of the youngest teams in football, but they haven't played like it today.
Well, the survey I saw showed us as the youngest team in college football, and they have. I'm impressed with their maturity, but I've been impressed with the way they've handled themselves all through fall camp. You know, and I think we've got good, steady senior leadership, and I think that makes a difference. Our 11 seniors are really fine people. They're 7 of them have already graduated. The other 4 will graduate in December. The others are working on postgraduate degrees. So when you get that kind of connection, you're in good shape. You know, usually the common denominator of successful teams is the age of your team. We don't have that factor, except that our older guys are leaders and mature people. So I feel good about that.
You know, this Panther program, it's had a lot of star power. Traditionally, Aaron Donald last year, first-round pick of the St. Louis Rams, about to break out in the National Football League. And then Tyler Boyd. I mean, what can you say? He's one of the most explosive players in the game.
Yeah, well, it's fun to watch. You know, at our first game last year, Larry Fitzgerald was here sitting with me because we retired his jersey that game, and the Cardinals didn't have a game, so he could come back for that Monday night game. And we sat as I was sitting next to Larry, I said, I think we're seeing something we haven't seen since you were here. and he's a lot like that. You know, he's explosive, he's smart. You can see on the punt returns too. You know, he makes great decisions, and I think he's elevated his play just from last year to this year already, and gosh, it's fun to have great players.
Steve, great to have you with us. Quickly, is Pitt comfortable now in its second season in the ACC?
Oh, we're thrilled to be in the ACC. You know, the ACC is such a great conference, made up of great schools. We have great leadership in our commissioner, John Swafford, and it's exciting to be a part of this. It's been great for the University of Pittsburgh. I hope we've been good for the ACC as well, and we're going to do our best to deliver on a lot of the things that we need to do to be a great part of this conference.
Steve, enjoyed talking to you. Enjoy the second half.
Yeah, Dave, thank you very much. Nice to be with you.
Steve Peterson, he's the athletic director at the University of Pittsburgh. It's been all Panthers so far here in this game. We've got more halftime activities in our Capital One halftime report. It's 42-0 Panthers at the break. Fans are starting to work their way back into Hens Field as we get ready for the third quarter of play. University of Pittsburgh leads Delaware 42-0 at the break. Dave Weekley rejoining you. Also, Mickey Matthews here. And Mickey, what'd you think of the first half?
Well, I thought it was total dominance, obviously, by Pittsburgh. They were very good in all three phases. The inability to Delaware to move the ball, I think, really took its toll on the Delaware defense.
Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the highlights of the first half of this game. And Pitt was just outstanding on both sides of the ball. Here we go.
It is, big turnover. Big turnover right there. Really, it was 14-0 at that point. They had a chance to make the game close at that point, that turnover.
James Conner had no less than 4 touchdown runs in this game.
Great player, Dave. They're running the power play almost at will.
There he goes again. And this time he's going to be pulled down from behind inside the 5-yard line. After the horse collar penalty, he's going to be off to the races for another touchdown run. That would be his 3rd of the game.
Yeah. The guy has great eyes. He has great eyes, no question. Big, strong guy.
Now here's the injury to Tyler Boyd. It came on a punt return, and you could see immediately as he went out of bounds, he started holding that left hand, and we could see the Pitt training staff taking a long look at the pinky on his left hand. And so when we get an injury report, we will pass that along to you. But we need another break here. We'll step aside momentarily. Third quarter coming up. Pitt leads Delaware 42-0. We're live on ESPN3. Back to Hens Field in just a moment.
How did the overall experience of the Dr. Pepper tuition giveaway change your life?
Dr. Pepper gave me something that's priceless. Honestly, the $100,000 in tuition is great, but it wasn't what I received the most benefit out of. They really just erased the fear factor out of my life completely now. It just finally opened my eyes to an entire new world. Dr. Pepper changed my life. Who's next?
A lot of kids want to become the next big rapper. Few turn down every major label along the way so they can create one with their best friend. We're Macklemore and Ryan Lewis, and we're one of a kind.
This is the ACC on ESPN. And you can see the bridge, all bridges leading to the north side where Hens Field is located, also PNC Park. Mickey Matthews, let's go ahead and take a look at the first half stats. They're ugly if you're a fan of the Blue Hens, but Pitt really had a very efficient first half. Look at that, 18 first downs in the first half. over 300 total yards, the majority of those coming on the ground, 263. Every snap, Pitt gained over 9 yards per snap, Delaware averaging less than a yard per snap. In the red zone, you can't get much better than 6 for 6 when it comes to touchdowns.
Well, I really thought that it wasn't so much the Delaware defense had a rough time. I really thought the Delaware offense could have had some opportunities to make some plays and couldn't get anything going and lost confidence, and all of a sudden you're really putting the whole game on your defense. They're just not that good. You know, that was the thing they really wanted to work on at Delaware in the offseason was their defense, and they didn't play very well.
All right, Paul Chryst, the third-year head coach of the Panthers, coming back out onto the field, and we know one thing for sure. We don't know the final score of this game, but we do know that Tyler Boyd, the outstanding wide receiver and kick returner for the Panthers, will not return. Dislocated finger on his left hand. He's done for the day.
Yeah, that just means the joint's out of line. I don't think it's a big deal. It didn't break or anything. I would anticipate he would not play any, but he'll be fine in a couple of days. It could be much worse.
Yeah, let me ask you about that as a former head coach. I mean, you've been in this situation many times as the former head coach at James Madison, where you're in the middle of a game and then suddenly one of your star players goes down with an undisclosed injury. It's tough to keep your focus when you're wondering about your stars.
It really, a guy like him it is. Let me tell you, because he is a difference maker. But it's going to happen. You know, it's a collision sport. You know, I was told as a young man that, you know, dancing is a contact sport and football is a collision sport. And you definitely, when they run into each other out there, you're going to have some guys go down. But you don't want your good players going down. Believe me, it's going to be a long afternoon.
Well, you know, we were talking earlier in the half about the ACC preseason poll, and Pitt is expected to finish, according to the media, near the bottom of the Coastal. They don't look like a bottom half team to me.
They were just very efficient in the front, you know, offensively. You know, they didn't make a lot of mistakes. And they don't do a lot, to be blunt about it. That's okay. You know, they're simple. You know, sometimes genius is simplicity.
Here's a look at the resume for Paul Chryst, and one thing you can see, he's consistent. He's dealing with the offense wherever he's been. I mean, UW-Platteville, that's a great D3 program, and then Illinois State, Oregon State, Wisconsin, back to Oregon State again, then back to Wisconsin. Everywhere he's been involved in offense. And, you know, when you watch Pitt play here in the first half against Delaware, Delaware, frankly, was overmatched, but his offense has got a real Big Ten feel to it.
Well, Paul's unusual. He's taken over the quarterbacks. He's a position coach this year, which is highly unusual in Division I football, that the head coach will be coaching a position. But I think they're going to do what they do. You know, they're going to run the power and run the zone play and run the play action off of it. And they know what they're going to. My hat is off to him. He's an excellent football coach. Very organized, nice guy. They're a better football team right now than they were last year.
Avonte Maddox, 14, is back to receive this kick for Pitt. He was really one of the big stories of fall camp. Very, very impressive, and he's stepped up and is really needed to play a role in that defensive secondary. Right now they've got him listed as the backup to Lafayette Pitts. You know, they list him at 5'9", 165 pounds out of Detroit. You know, if he had been a couple of inches taller, everybody would have been in on him, and Pitt was glad to take him. He's a real playmaker.
Yeah, he can run. He looks like one of the managers. He's not very big, let me tell you. But he's a good football player and get nothing but better. And as we see here, Delaware is going to get a delay of game here. How about that to start? That's highly unusual. Awful. Yeah, you don't see that very often.
So they're going to move the football back to the 30-yard line.
Yeah, that's not good.
And Eric Anderson will kick off. A first half dominated by Pittsburgh. Short kick. Let's see how the second half turns out. Taken at the 21-yard line. And Witherspoon takes it up near the 35-yard line. Hey, before Pitt gets rolling, let's take a look at the ACC scoreboard, where we got some very interesting games going here. In Charlottesville, 7th-ranked UCLA. So much expected out of them. They lead the Wahoos by 11 at the break. Georgia Tech in a tight one with Wofford in downtown Atlanta. And look at this at the half at Carter Finley. Georgia Southern leads North Carolina State 17-3. Georgia Southern making the move up to the Sun Belt Conference this year.
How about that? That's two interesting scores there, Wofford and Georgia Southern. Interesting. I tell you what, the Wahoos are hanging in there with UCLA. That's good. All of us Virginia people.
Chad Wojtek with the handoff.
Chad Gummit. Boy, that's just.
And there goes Isaac Bennett. Bennett on the carry. Rushing the football.
Yeah,
Connor was really the man, though, in the first half. Mickey, what a half. 14 carries, 153 yards, 4 touchdowns.
Did it all. Ran tough, good eyes, north and south, broke a long one, everything you want out of a back.
2nd down and 2 for the Panthers. Wojtek under center. He set so many records in high school football in Tennessee. Short drop, throw to the outside, pass caught, 1st down.
Yeah, they had a 3-by-1, 5-step drop. They had single coverage on the single side. It was a very good read by the quarterback, recognizing that.
Manessa Garner, that's his first catch, the senior from Brashear.
Yeah, I was laughing. I'm sure the receiver coach went and talked to the head coach of the half. Said, Coach, we got to throw the ball. My guys are going to quit. Because they've got some good receivers, and they didn't throw the ball to them at all. So I'm sure they're going to throw the ball some here in the 3rd quarter.
Garner worked a lot at the H-back at the tight end spot most of the year. Got a lot more reps late last year when Devin Street was injured. 1st down from the 46-yard line of Delaware. Pitt up 42-0, just underway 3rd quarter. Swings it out to Jones, and Jones has had a good game. Looks like he's got a 1st down. He does at the 34-yard line.
Yeah. I was going to say it was great blocking by Garner out on the edge, but I guess the officials thought it was way too good a block because they called him for holding. Yeah, that's just a bubble screen, and the official's much closer than I am. But Garner, you got to get your hands in out there. Because he blocked that corner off the face of the earth then. I mean, he blocked him. But that's why he blocked him, because he tackled him. So it's a good call by the official.
Tough day for Dave Brock, the head coach at Delaware.
Yeah, Dave's a good guy. We've all been through this. I've been on both sidelines.
Bennett trying to get away. He stopped after a short gain. For Delaware, it was Salisbury who really blew the play up.
Well, that was the power. Watch him pull the backside guard here. And, you know, that's what Coach Brock told his defensive staff at the half. So I don't care if you stop another play, stop the power play. And that's what you do at halftime adjustments, as obviously Delaware has done that. You know, they ran the power, and it was, no gain. That's good. Good coaching.
2nd down and 11. Delaware defense has not forced a punt. Pitt 6 for 6 touchdown possessions today. The throw, incomplete, knocked away.
See, that's positive. You're on the Delaware side. It's 2 good defensive plays in a row. Kids are playing hard. 5-step drop.
Simba Kawashavahu makes the play, number 14 in white.
There you go. We call this smash route. That's an old, and just a corner route. Very good play by the corner there for Delaware. Excellent play.
I just wanted to say Simba's last name one time today. That was kind of a goal of mine.
Better you than me, Dave. Better you than me.
3rd and 10. Panthers 3 for 3 on 3rd down attempts here in this game. Swing it out to Bennett. Ball's loose.
All right.
I think that's going to be ruled a fumble. Yeah, they're going to spot that. They're going to spot it at the Panther 48.
Pittsburgh had 4 wides in the game. And they ran them off. Just going to throw the ball short, a little swing pass to their back. Very well defended by Delaware. That's 3 good plays. That's when you get to the sideline, so you see all the Delaware coaches telling their kids, good. We stop the power, stop 2 pass plays. We can keep doing it.
Simba made 2 good plays in a row.
Yeah.
Knocked that ball away. And so now we'll see Ryan Winslow. And Johnson is back at the 10-yard line to return this punt. A lot of buzz about Ryan Winslow, one of the nation's highly regarded punting prospects, with his first kick for the Panthers. Right foots it down the field. Johnson will call for the fair catch at the 19.
First time we've seen that. It looked unusual. So watching Pittsburgh punt the ball.
Fair catch by Johnson.
11:45 to go in the 3rd. Delaware forces Pitt to punt for the first time today, and the Blue Hens will have their first possession of the 3rd quarter. When we come back. And Delaware's got the football for the first time here in the second half. They'll start from their own 20-yard line. 8 drives, 7 3-and-outs. Hurley back to pass. Pass is picked off. This could be a pick 6 inside the 10, down to the 5-yard line. Alan Lazenga.
Yeah, it was just a little stick route.
Lombos on the interception. That was Lombos on the pickoff. Matt Galombos.
Yeah, it's as simple a pass play as you can run right here. Quarterback takes 3 steps. Tight end turns out. Very good play by the linebacker. You know, you just need to make a better decision than at quarterback. You know, it just really hurts you. Really, you know, your football team's struggling right now when they're 90 yards from the goal line. When they have to start 5 yards from the goal line, it's really difficult.
So Galombos comes up with the pick, and they'll start this drive at the 5. Bennett finding his way to the end zone. No signal finally. Touchdown Pitt.
Yeah, they ran the power right here. Surprise, surprise. They just blocked the point of attack. They're still their first offensive line in there. And made 5 yards.
So Isaac Bennett takes it into the end zone. His first touchdown run of the season.
Yeah. Excellent blocking. Jimmy Huber doing a great job with those kids. Very experienced up front offensively. They're going to give some people a hard time this year. When you've got a good offensive line, you can be in a lot of football games.
So, after Delaware forced Pitt into its first punt of the afternoon, the Panthers come up with a turnover. Galombos with the interception sets them up first and goal at the 5. Bennett, and there's the extra point that is missed.
It is no good.
Blewett only missed 1 extra point last year as a freshman, but he misses here. It's still 48-0.
You've got to get your linebacker over the top there.
Bennett takes it into the end zone for a Panther touchdown. 48-0. (48-0). Panthers lead Delaware. Matt Galombos, that's his first career interception. And he can't wait to tell everybody on the sidelines about it. Meanwhile, when you're fresh or you're a senior like Bennett, you get into the end zone, you sort of act like you've been there before.
There's no question.
5-yard touchdown run for Isaac Bennett. And the Panthers will kick the ball back to the Blue Hens. Troy Gallen is back to receive this kick. Short kick and returnable from the 5.
Returnable.
Across the 15 and can't outrun the special teams unit from the Panthers.
Great coverage. Great coverage.
You usually don't see a rivalry game to kick off the season, but that's what we've got for you today at 3 on ESPN3. It's the battle for bragging rights in the state of Massachusetts as the Minutemen host Boston College. Again, you can see all the action starting at 3 right here on ESPN3 and the Watch ESPN app. $48-0. Delaware back out there. Still early in the third quarter. Going to try the reverse. Thought about a throw. Going to be forced out of bounds back at the 8-yard line.
Yeah, they're trying everything now. That was a little razzle-dazzle. Try to get something going. You got to give them credit. Trying something. The runner stuff's not working.
Todd Thomas made the stop. Thomas has an interception to his credit in this game today.
The loss is 9 yards.
It's a 9-yard loss. All the way back to the 8-yard line for Delaware.
If you want to ever call plays, Dave, this is when it's 2nd and 1,000,000 from your own 6, 7, whatever it is. You know, that's what happened. Now they're losing confidence.
Fumbled snap. And Hurley is on it. And you can kind of tell Delaware's getting a little bit demoralized here. Getting a little sloppy. It's a hot afternoon. The score is lopsided. Mickey, I wanted to ask you, you've been in this situation before. Down big at the half. What kind of things do you tell your team?
Well, I've always taken the positive approach. When we're getting whipped like they were whipped, you know, you don't have to tell them they're doing bad. You know, you need to be as positive as you can with them. We can do some things, make some plays. Don't worry about the scoreboard. Everyone keep a good attitude and be positive with them. You don't have to tell them. They're getting embarrassed in front of a huge crowd, you know, ESPN audience here. They're being embarrassed. You don't have to tell them they're doing bad. And I've gotten more out of that than I have getting on them.
Jalen Randolph on the carry, and Delaware will punt again. You can see how young this Delaware team is. 57 players making their collegiate debut today. That's nearly 60% of the entire roster. A dozen true or red shirts, freshmen in the 2D.
Dave he's made the effort. He's going to take high school kids from the previous coach. He's not going to take a lot of transfers. He's building a program. He's going to be fine. The Delaware people do not need to panic.
Henderson with the kick. Weatherspoon on the return, still on his feet into Blue Hen territory, knocked out of bounds at the Delaware 43.
Yeah, I watched them practice 2 weeks ago, Dave. He has some great young players on this football team at Delaware. They're going to be fine. This is rough out here right now, but they need to keep playing hard, make some plays, make the scoreboard look better.
So that Pitt offense back out onto the field. Chad Wojtek, you know, you're thinking, well, why is the starting quarterback still in there with 9 minutes to go in the third and it's 48-0? He needs reps.
Yeah, they need to play. You
right.
know, you can't. I've learned a long time. You can't. The Delaware coach cannot coach the kids at Pittsburgh and vice versa. You know, if he wants to keep them in there, that's fine. You know, I've never said a word to anyone about anything. You know, if you can't stop them, it's your fault. And if he wants to keep them in there, and his kids need to play. You've asked, Coach Chris is a good guy, but his players need to get some good repetitions out here today.
Chris James on the carry, the highly regarded true freshman from Chicago that has a touchdown to his credit in this game. 2nd down and 9. Wojtek on the drop, looking over the middle, and that pass is caught, but a gain of only 2 yards. Jones makes the reception.
Yeah, it's 5-step drop. You know, that's what Coach Chris told his offensive kids at the half. Said, guys, we're going to throw the ball. If we want to go where we want to go as a football program, we need to have the ability to throw the football, and you don't get any better talking about it. You know, you got to do it in games. That's what they're doing right now.
3rd down and 6. Pitt is 3 of 4 on 3rd down conversions today. Wojtek out of the gun and throws behind his intended receiver, and it's 4th down for the Panthers.
Yeah, press coverage by Delaware, you know, threw the route off. The receiver needs to recognize that he and the quarterback together need to, you know, adjust his route to whatever their adjustment is at Pitt. You know, it's different things at different programs, but it's odd they're not on the same page right there, and I'm sure Coach Rudolph will be discussing that with them on the sideline.
Mickey, I don't want to let our viewers think that we're not following progress of other games. Right now over in Baltimore, Navy leads Ohio State 7-6 at the half.
How about that?
Buckeyes still looking for their first touchdown of the year.
Let me tell you,
Winslow with a punt.
The Navy wishbone gives people a hard time. They do a great job with it.
And that is batted back into the field of play.
That's terrific job. That's terrific job by the Pitt special teams.
That is going to be down at the 4-yard line.
Really, plays like that, kids get confidence doing that in games. Regardless of the scoreboard, when you can do that right now, you can do it in the games. Yeah, good job. See, in college, you can be in the end zone and touch the ball in the field of play. In the NFL, you cannot do that. You have to have your full body on the field of play. But in college, you can actually be standing in the end zone. If you touch the ball on the field of play, it's dead there.
Delaware.
Very good play, because I think that kid was actually in the end zone when he touched the ball.
All right, let's see if Delaware can put a couple of positive plays together here. Across the 5, and Ellis takes it out to the 10. Oh, check that. That is Jalen Randolph, the sophomore from Ridley Park, PA. Takes it out to the 10-yard line. That's one of the best plays of the day.
Yeah, just the same play. That's the same play Pitt's been running. Good power play, good eyes by the back. Everyone maintained their blocks up front. Good 6 yards. Very good football play.
You see the stats. How Pitt has been outstanding against the rush. Today they've held Delaware into negative territory. 2nd down and 4. Knows the football at the Blue Hens 10-yard line. Again, going to keep it on the ground. This is Randolph. And Randolph off the right side, and it's going to be 3rd and a yard.
Yeah, that was the inside zone. And once again, good blocking up front. Good, solid 3-yard gain.
There's that offensive line. That first team still in there. You see 54, the center Kern, Durzo 67, 75 Bozick.
Yeah, they need to make a first step. Get some confidence. The only way you get confidence is to do something positive. You know, no one's going to do it for you.
Power set. Good test here for the Pitt backup defensive front.
They're blitzing.
And they get the penetration and they shut it down.
Yeah. Brought a max blitz, stop them. Got to punt the ball again.
Put down by 15, Reggie Mitchell.
So Reggie Mitchell from the corner comes in and makes the stop. Ellis nowhere to go.
Yeah, they didn't have numbers. Delaware didn't have enough numbers to block them all. They brought a max blitz and got great penetration. Good defensive play.
Anderson to
What's your own scholarship for at Pittsburgh? Stop them.
Anderson, this has been a familiar scene today, punting out of his own end zone. Sends it down. Oh, this is a good punt.
Great punt.
No fair catch. Ball's dropped back to the 35-yard line. It's been a tough afternoon for Weatherspoon.
Tackle for number 6.
Able to get back on that football. Panthers have it back. 5:41 to go in the third. It's been all Pitt at Hens Field. It's 48-0 over Delaware. Gorgeous day here in Pittsburgh. Panthers have the ball back in a 48-0 lead on the Delaware Blue Hens. And Mickey, Paul Christ has got his first team offensive line back out there in the game.
Yeah, it's first across the line, you know, and you just, I'm going to say it again, you know, you can't say you got to play. Let them play.
Chris James, the freshman from Chicago, picks up 11, and that's a first down. So looking at the Panthers offensive line out there right now, you've got Jared Jones-Smith, 75 at the left tackle spot. Dorian Johnson, Val, Rotherham, and Clemmings all in there right now.
Yeah, I've always had this opinion of you don't give any quarter, you don't ask any quarter. You know, let them coach their team over there, and you coach your team.
Hand off to James again. And he takes it into Delaware territory and is down at the 46-yard line. Well, you know, when you take a look at this Pitt schedule, you can understand why Paul Christ wants to get those first-team reps. I mean, they've got a conference game they got to play next week at BC. Then they stay on the road the following week against FIU. Iowa comes in here. That's probably the most attractive non-conference home game for the Panthers. Akron's improved. You know, really don't want to take too many chances here. Have a really good opportunity to get off to a great start here for Pitt.
Yeah, the only way you get any better at football is to play football. You know, there's no such thing as pick up football. You know, a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah.
It's the one sport you've got to play. So, you know, let them go.
James on the carry again. He stopped after a yard. So he'll come out of the game. And Rashid Ibrahim checks in, number 29, at the tailback spot for the Panthers on this 3rd and 2.
Yeah, you know, let's tough it out right here. Both sides. Let's see who's going to get this thing stopped or who's going to make a first down.
Pitt's got 20 first downs in this game.
Now, challenge your kids if you're Delaware. Challenge your kids at Pittsburgh.
From the power I. Ibrahim hits the hole quickly, and he picks up the first down to the Blue Hens 40.
So what, Pittsburgh's tough. Delaware actually played pretty good then. Played the line of scrimmage pretty good. It wasn't bad. Just the isolation here. So they got, you know, they got some Pitt offensive linemen get knocked back there. But really good running by the kid too. Good eyes. You know, good eyes. When you run this style of offense, your tailbacks develop really good eyes, and you can't underestimate that.
Jamar Parrish was in there at the H-back position. He did a good job. Ibrahim, look at this.
Yeah.
Creating his own lane and knocked out of bounds at the 25-yard line after a gain of almost 20. Let's call it 18 on the pickup.
Yeah, outside zone again. You see right here they have a chance to make a play. Right there, you got to make it. You don't get many chances. Missed tackle right there really hurt them. Got to tackle in the open field if you're going to play major college defense. So I used to tell our guys, that's why you're on scholarship, is to make tackles in the open field. If not, you got to move on.
Ibrahim, lone setback. 2:45 to go in the 3rd. And he is met solidly in the hole.
That's good defense there. That's the way you play. They played good at the point of attack. Someone got off a block, made a play.
20, Raymond on the stop.
Dante Raymond, who's in there at the strong side linebacking spot after the injury to Derek Battle, makes a nice play here for Delaware.
Is that Raymond 59? Is that who makes it?
20.
Yeah, really good football play. Really good. Nice play. Good open field tackle, threw his shoulder in there nice. Good football play.
Wants to be a state trooper. 2nd down and 8. Fodick threads the needle. That's a completed pass at the 8-yard line and a first down. Vanessa Garner on the catch.
That's what they're working on right now, Pittsburgh. They're running the ball some. They want to be able to throw the ball. Once again, he takes 5 steps right here under the center. Holds the ball nice and high. Good delivery. Don't throw the ball high over the middle. Throw it where only your receiver can catch the ball.
That's his 2nd catch of the game.
Yeah.
Comes from an athletic family. His cousin Justin King, of course, played at Penn State. 1st and goal.
They're really running the power play off to the open side a bunch today right here. If you want, this is to the what we call the open side away from the tight end.
Jackson makes the tackle for Delaware. James picks up a pair. 2nd down and goal at the 6. Down to 70 seconds to play 3rd quarter. Wojtek turns and hands to James, makes the cut back into the hole. And it's going to be 3rd and goal as he takes it down near the 3-yard line.
4-yard pickup.
Delaware making wholesale substitutions of their defensive front because their kids are getting so tired. Brought in and probably went to a goal line defense here today, it appears, where they got 6 defensive linemen in the game, trying to get them stopped here on 3rd and goal.
See second teamers in there right now. Blaine Woodson, Belial Nichols.
3rd
and goal. Wojtek, play action, end zone, wide open, touchdown Panthers.
Touchdown.
Yeah, they were all open. He had his pick.
Orendoff makes the catch.
Yeah, he had Delaware was in a 6 defensive line. Look at the back, the fullbacks open, both tight ends, they're all open. They're all open. Good call by the Pitt offensive staff on 3rd and goal. Really, really good call.
So, second touchdown pass of the day and of the career for Chad Wojtek. And the extra point kick is up and good. And the Panthers lead it 55-0.
Yeah, I'm sure that's all we'll see of the Pitt offense. I'm sure I would think that Paul would make all wholesale substitutions now going home.
Orendoff played in the first 9 games last year, including 5 starts before he suffered a season-ending knee injury against Notre Dame. Outstanding student. Comes from a very athletic family. His dad played football at California U of Pennsylvania and also was in the USFL with the Stars and the Washington Federals. And Wojtek, what's your take on him today?
I think he's going to be a good football player. They do a lot of things to help him. He really runs fast. He's not the biggest guy in the world. Doesn't have the best arm in the world, but he's very athletic. They run a lot of bootlegs, sprint out. Well, they're trying to develop a drop back game, and we'll see how it goes during the year for him.
Hey, more action involving Pitt coming your way today at 3:30 as Duquesne travels to Buffalo to take on the Bulls. After our Pitt game, join us for Duquesne and Buffalo at 3:30 right here on ESPN3 and the Watch ESPN3 app. And a bevy of running backs putting up some serious numbers right now for the Panthers. His kick will go into the end zone for a touchback.
Touchback. Delaware goes 1st and 10 from their 25-yard line.
It's been a rather warm afternoon here in Pittsburgh. Right now, I think it's probably as cool as it's been in a while. A little breeze rolling through here. But I tell you what, for those guys down there on the field,
it's hot.
It's hot.
No question. It's hot down there. It's really hot over there with Delaware right now. I guarantee you.
Running backs today for the Pitt Panthers. Connor, look at those numbers. Over 10 yards a touch, 4 touchdowns. James has a touchdown.
Blue Hens take over 1st and 10.
Yeah, I think all those guys have played well. I think Connor's the best one, but James is certainly a star in the making. They're all good players.
Got a change of quarterback for Delaware. Justin Burns, the senior from Alpharetta, Georgia, is in there now. Handoff to Wes Hills, and Wes Hills takes it out of bounds. Stops the clock with just 8 seconds left in the 3rd.
Yeah, counter, that little misdirection play by Delaware here slowed the Pitt defense down some. Good play. Good positive play. 7 yards.
And that is the end of the 3rd quarter of play. This one's been all Pitt, and it's time to head to the 4th. We're going to the 4th quarter at Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. After 3, Pitt Panthers 55, Delaware nothing. And welcome back to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. Time to start the fourth quarter. Pitt 55, Delaware nothing. Delaware in the white uniforms with those helmets that remind you so much of Michigan, facing 2nd down and 3. Keeping this ball on the ground across the 35-yard line, and that appears to be a first down for Delaware. And it would just be their 3rd of the game, and it is.
Yeah, the happiest group of kids in the stadium now is the Delaware defense. They get to rest a little bit more over there.
First down. Picked up by Wes Hills. By the way, 55 points by the Panthers ties a Pitt record for points here at Pitt Stadium, or rather in Heinz Field. Kind of showed my age there almost by saying Pitt Stadium, didn't I? Swing pass out to the 40-yard line. That's a pickup of 3.
A good positive play there. Had a chance. Threw the ball out there to open field to a good player. See if he can do something with it.
Deontay Cherry makes the catch. And how about that? That's the first down for Delaware since the first quarter.
How about that?
Wow.
I knew it'd been a while.
This game is 42-0 at the half. Pitt went 6 for 6 on possessions that turned into touchdowns in the first 30 minutes of play. Swing pass out of the backfield. Pass is caught. That's another first down out to the 48-yard line of the Blue Hens. Second consecutive catch on this drive by Cherry. Freshman from Lancaster, PA.
Yeah, little flood pass, little quick sprint. Good protection, good throw.
That's Justin Burns, the senior from Alpharetta, Georgia, in there at quarterback in relief of Trent Hurley, who went the majority of the way this afternoon. 3 wide, 2 to the top, single back for Delaware from their own 48. Handoff short side. Wes Hills has been the most effective running back today for Delaware.
Yeah, just a simple zone play here. They just block him up front. Good blocking by the Delaware offensive front.
Ryan Lewis bumps him out for Pitt.
Makes that guy miss, not get up the field. Nice job.
You know, the cornerback has really been an area of concern for the Panthers. A couple of transfers have really hurt the depth there, but their defensive backs have looked good today, although they really have not been tested. And looks to be another first down for Delaware. Wait on the spot, and it is. It's going to be marked at the Panther 41.
Yeah, I don't know, Dave, if they're just running the ball into the short side or they're doing it their offensive right, but they're much more effective running to their right here. But right now it's into the boundary. But certainly they're good positive yards for Delaware right now.
Young corners in the game right now. Lewis, 38, sophomore from Seattle. Avante Maddox, 14, on the other corner. Those are the backups. Lafayette Pitts and Reggie Mitchell, the starters, out of the game at the moment.
See, they're not as good running the ball to the field or to the offensive left. You know, all their yards are coming over here.
Gain of 3. It'll be 2nd down and 7. There's a good look at Bradley. He's had a good game. Bam from Dayton, Ohio. Trotwood Madison High School. That's a very strong program in Ohio. Now, how about this? Blue Hens need to get something up on the board. They've scored in 220 consecutive games.
32.
Kareem Williams, a freshman. That's his first carry.
Yeah, just what we call the outside zone, which Pittsburgh's been running a lot. They run the outside zone play, and they just don't block the guy. You know, they just very good. 3rd and long. Let's see what they do here. You know, this kid hadn't thrown the ball much. They've got to throw it right here.
Burns operates out of the gun here.
Yeah.
Jet sweep to the short side. He decides to cut it inside. It goes to the 34-yard line. Deontay Cherry, and that brings up 4th down, and you know the Blue Hens are going to go for it.
Sure they are. Yeah, that was like I say, jet sweep. Had a chance. Being sure they throw it here. I'm not sure what they will throw. Pitt has shown a tendency to bring a lot of pressure in this situation. They brought pressure the last play. Let's see what they run here. Looks like, okay.
4th down and 3. Throws, pass is caught, but it's going to be short of the 1st down. As Burns was able to get that ball complete to Cherry, but the ball goes over on downs to the Panthers.
That is quick sprint. And the linebacker blitzes and runs over the back and hits the quarterback.
Well, it's hot down there, and you know that Panther defense with 10 minutes left to go, they want to protect that shutout. They lead 55-0, and they've got the ball back. .05 to go in our 4th quarter. It's been all Pitt this afternoon. 55-0 against Delaware. So many positives for the Panthers. Running the football so effectively. Their defense is throwing a shutout right now. Trey Anderson, number 11, is back in at quarterback. We saw Anderson briefly for one series back in the first half. This will start 1st and 10 from the Panther 34-yard line.
Yeah, run the power.
Ibrahim on the carry. But, you know, I don't want to bury the lead here, Mickey. The lead story here is the fact that Boyd had to leave this game. Tyler Boyd left the game with a dislocated finger on his left hand. We think it was his pinky finger after a punt return in the first half. He is so important to where Pitt wants to go this year.
Yeah, I don't see him on the sideline anywhere. I don't see him.
Ibrahim carries it, and it's a 1st down out to the Pitt 45. Let's take a look at scores from the ACC, where Virginia now trailing UCLA 28-17, getting late in the 3rd quarter. Georgia Tech having all they can handle from Wofford right now, 17-12 with 4 minutes to go in the 3rd. And NC State coming back a little bit. At one point they trailed by 14. Now it's a 7-point game with 8 minutes to go against Georgia Southern, stepping up to the Sun Belt Conference this year. Here's Anderson on a rollout. Throwing, passes caught. Yeah. Drops and goes out of bounds shy of the 1st down marker. Wiesner makes the catch. That's his first catch of the day.
Yeah, sprint out. Little flood. They put 3 receivers to the same side over there. A little sprint. you tell these kids they need to work right now. Your twos playing for either side. You're a two today, but next week you may have to go in and play if someone gets hurt. So this film is looked at very closely by the coaches.
2nd down and 3, 1 back set for Pitt. Anderson turns and hands the ball off to Ibrahim. And he's got the 1st down and just maybe a yard more. Give him a gain of 4 on that. They'll move the sticks as they take it on down to the Delaware 42.
Yeah, you want to have your kids competing right now. You really do. As a coach, do not look at the scoreboard. Play.
Tonight we've got another ACC matchup for you as number 21 ranked North Carolina hosts Liberty. Join us later tonight at 6 right here on ESPN3 for Liberty, the Flames in Chapel Hill against UNC.
Once again, another inside, what we call the inside zone. Very simple blocking. Have the tight end cutting across for the H-back, I should say, cutting across the formation.
I tell you, James is getting a lot of work here. That's his 11th carry of the game. Connor started the game and ran wild. 14 carries, 153 yards, 4 touchdowns. But James now has 11 carries. So his debut has been a workmanlike performance here for Pitt.
The last play, they ran the inside zone, and this is what they call the naked bootleg, where they fake the inside zone and keep it. The lead blocker now becomes a receiver out in the flat, and coaches refer to that as the naked bootleg, and that's a very good play. Right here, see, he's faking it right there. 45 was a blocker a while ago. Now he's going to be out in the flat. Good decision by the quarterback. Bootleg play, run or throw, excellent.
By the way, in the last 30 seconds of the 3rd quarter over in Baltimore, Ohio State has taken a 20-14 lead on Navy. Looking for a 1st down, and I think James give him forward progress to the Delaware 30, and that will be a 1st down.
Yeah, very methodical by Pittsburgh right now. Challenging their kids on the sideline. Let's have a good drive. Let you guys get some good film on you. Tell the coaches what you can do. Show them. Anderson's a good operator at quarterback. We're not going to do anything fancy. Let's play.
Ibrahim now with a personal best. 8 carries, 64 yards in this game for Pitt. Power eye set on this 1st down from the 30.
I know this will stun the audience, but that was the power play again. I know, absolutely. No one fell out of your rocking chair. I mean, they pulled the backside guard and led it with the fullback. They run this play with their nosebleeds. You know, they're gonna. If you're gonna beat Pitt, you got to stop the power play. But that's all you're going to see the entire game.
Great opportunity.
Look at that. Look at the yards right there. That's a lot of yards per carry. I'm not sure. I don't have good enough mathematical skills, but that's a lot of yards per carry for each kid.
Ibrahim running between the tackles. Oh, he takes a big hit.
That's what I'm saying. That's a 96 for Delaware. That's a good hit. Be physical.
Pitt closing in on 370 rushing yards.
Yeah.
Getting closer to 500 total yards.
But just get, yeah, good shot.
3rd down and 2. Closing in on 5 minutes to go here in the game.
2.
Ibrahim again.
Yeah, 1st down.
He's got it, and Pitt's back in the red zone.
I tell you what the Pitt backs, excuse me, Dave, I'm sorry. What the Pitt backs do, they're north and south runners. I mean, they are, you know, they do their faking towards the sideline and they're running up north and south.
Great test for some of these backup offensive linemen. They've showed out very well for Pitt. We expected that we would see a lot of 75 Jared Jones-Smith, and he has remained in there at the left tackle spot. James spins for maybe 2. It'll be 2nd down and 8 as he gets down near the 17-yard line.
Power. Let's see. I would guess bootleg right here. I would guess bootleg. I don't know if Paul's going to try to score right here, but he needs to get Anderson some. You know, when you run a bootleg, you make your quarterback make some decisions. He needs to do that.
Check this out. 370 plus yards, almost triples the average output offensively on the ground last year for Pitt. But James into the end zone, touchdown. That's a nice run.
Really was.
Chris James, 19 yards for the touchdown. That's his second touchdown today.
Yeah, outside zone, good blocking at the point of attack. Delaware can't get off blocks. This kid's going to be a great player. He's going to challenge some guys. I'm sure the Pitt staff's very high on him. Once again, when you got a young player, it's a great time to get him some turns right here and critique him. But he's going to challenge some guys for some playing time this year.
Extra point is up and good. It's 62-0. That is a Pitt record for points in a game here at Hens Field. The Panthers have 7 rushing touchdowns today. James, the freshman from Chicago, has 2 of them. Time now for the Capital One Cup Athletic Performance of the Week. Pitt had a bunch of stars in this game, but we're going to select James Conner, and why not? 4 rushing touchdowns in this game. That's a personal high. 153 rushing yards, and he's watched most of the second half from the sidelines.
He picked up, Dave, where he left off last year. You watch their bowl. They had 2 championship drives last year in the bowl game to beat Bowling Green, and it was most of it was his running. And he gets picked up exactly where he left off. He's going to be a great player. I think the sky's the limit for the guy. You know, he's going to be a heck of a player for him.
Already is. Led Pitt in rushing as a freshman last year and off to a great start on the season. Hey, we'll take another quick break here in Pittsburgh and come back. 4:11 to go, fourth quarter. Panthers lead Delaware 62-0. This is the ACC on ESPN. Here at Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, it's been all Panthers. They opened the season, the lid lifter, and what a day it's been. 62-0. Panthers lead Delaware. 4 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. Driven out of bounds on the first down play for the Blue Hens. That was Williams on the carry. 62 points today, the most in almost 20 years, dating back to September the 9th, 1995 against Eastern Michigan. Delaware would like to get something on the board. The Blue Hens very proud of the streak they have. They've scored in 220 consecutive games. But to be honest, they've never really threatened Mickey Matthews here against the Pitt defense.
You'd have to categorize a poor offensive effort by Delaware, so-so on defense, but they certainly did not play very well on offense today. But give Pitt credit too. You know, we do that sometimes. We want to talk bad about someone and don't give the other side credit. So give the Pittsburgh kids all the credit.
Pat Amara on the stop for the Panthers, and suddenly it's third down and 8. Third down's been a nightmare today for Delaware, just 1 of 10 on third down conversion attempts.
Yeah, this is always a hard call. Whether you throw it or run it, you know, you don't want to do something crazy and turn it over. But you got to give your kids a chance. I don't know what they're going to throw, but they've got to throw something right here. Try to make a first down. You never want to give the kids the idea that, you know, you've given up, you don't think they can do it. I'm not sure what he'll throw right here.
Looking into the eyes of Justin Moody. Mike Capera also out there for Pitt.
No, he handed it off.
Going to run it on the ground, and so fourth down is coming up.
Okay.
And it looks like the punt team is going to come out. How about this? Pitt's defense has held Delaware to 67 total yards today.
I tell you, they had some positive yards in the first quarter, Dave, and they got called back because of penalty. It really hurt them. You know, that was a big drive in the game. And I'm not saying they would have beat them, but they would have been in the game longer. But those penalties there on that one drive, because those were some good yards and well-executed plays.
That's Ronald Jones back there to receive this punt.
As I'm looking down there, I still don't see Tyler Boyd on the sideline. I don't know what's going on with that.
Great punt.
This guy hit into next week.
Jones eludes 2 tacklers, and a flag is down. You know, all things considered, for a first weekend game, a game that's been so lopsided, we really haven't had that many penalties.
No, it's been well played. I agree. The highlight for Delaware has been their punt. Their punter's had a great day. I'm not sure what he's averaged, but he's had a good day punting the football.
10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
All right, so with a minute 42 to go in the fourth quarter, change of possession. We'll take another break. Pitt's got the ball back and a 62-0 lead on Delaware. Minute 42 to go here in the fourth quarter. Pitt has a 62-0 lead on Delaware and the football. So this was a nightmarish afternoon for Delaware, but you got to shake it off and get back up on it starting next week with a rivalry game against Delaware State, and then you see Colgate, and then they get into conference play.
In either locker room, what you say after the game or Sunday meeting, you always say this: you're not as good as you think you are, and you're not as bad as you think you are, is what you always tell your kids. You know, you can't, you didn't reinvent the wheel today at Pitt, and you know, the Locusts didn't sit in on you at Delaware. You know, you got to get better at what you're doing. You're not as good as you think you are, you're not as bad as you think you are.
I tell you, Paul Christ in this lopsided game really did a nice job of evening out the touches for his bevy of tailbacks, as Anderson is still in there at quarterback. Connor with 14 carries, Ibrahim with a dozen. James, the freshman from Chicago, toted it 14 times today. Bennett, 6 carries and a touchdown. So all of the running backs will be happy tonight. Inside of a minute to go. Final minute to go in the fourth. Ibrahim still on his feet, tripped up as he reaches the 29-yard line. Here's Pitt's next 5 games. And I'm telling you, this schedule is really setting up for the Panthers to do well. At BC next Friday, then going to Miami for FIU, Iowa here at Hens Field, followed by Akron here in Pittsburgh, and then at Virginia on October the 4th. You know, Pitt could start 6-0.
Well, they better have lights at Boston College next week, because they're going to run the power. Both teams are going to run the power forever in the game. So certainly that's going to be a really rock'em sock'em game there Friday night. That would be a great, for those of you who like running the football, you should go to that game.
Ibrahim on the carry, and that will be the last snap of the game. Paul Christ and Dave Brock meet in the center of the field. First shutout of the Blue Hens in 18 years. Pitt's first shutout since they blanked UConn on November 12th back in 2005. Pitt starts the season on the right foot with a 62-0 win over Delaware. We'll have a final word from Hens Field when we come back. A big day in Pittsburgh for the Panthers. We'll put a wrap on it when we return. Pittsburgh 62, Delaware nothing. That's the final score from here at Hens Field. Panthers start 1-0. Delaware 0-1. Mickey Matthews, former head coach at James Madison. This was your first game. You made it through. I promise they're not all like this, but what did you think today?
Pittsburgh certainly dominate them. They have a lot better players. I think they have a great opportunity to have a good football team. When you play a game like this, it's all positive, you know, except with the one minor injury. I think to Tyler, everyone came out healthy. You got to play a lot of kids. There'll be a lot of giggling tomorrow and watching the tape. But they quickly know they've got to go play a very physical Boston College team next Friday night.
And what about Delaware?
Just worried about the confidence. You know, you got to tell the kids, look, guys, we didn't coach very good. You didn't play very good. We're all going back on the same bus. But you worry about their confidence right now. That's the thing about these games that really take a toll on you. Is You know, you got to play this. If you're going to be good, you've got to play with confidence. I'd be worried about their confidence right now.
All right, college football, it's not a sprint, it's a journey, and it's just underway. So for Mickey Matthews, I'm Dave Weekley saying so long from Hens Field in Pittsburgh, where our final score, Pitt 62, Delaware nothing. To watch this entire game on replay, as well as other games on our family of ESPN networks, log on to watchespn.com or download the Watch ESPN app. Thanks, everybody, for watching. This has been a presentation of ESPN.